Welcome everyone to the International Fabtalks. We are happy and glad to connect with you today with our celebrity and guest. She is Ms.Sanjana Rajan, who is joining us all the way from a beautiful city, Hyderabad, located in Telangana, and that is in India, my dear friends, if you're viewing this from another part of the world. We have invited her to share her thoughts and views and to inspire us. Inspiration and motivation makes us go a long way in our journey. Whenever we feel low, whenever we feel lost, we just look up to our great celebrities and guests who have done great things in their life and who have continued their beautiful journey till date, inspiring people around and overcoming their own challenges. So join me today, friends, to welcome our guest, who is an author, a chartered accountant, and a wonderful speaker. Let's get to know more about her. Hello, ma'am, and welcome to the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for providing me this platform. I think sharing experiences is something that helps the society in general, and you get to learn a lot from the person you're talking to. So, yeah, thanks for this platform.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You accepted the invitation to the International Fab Talks. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Mr. Chidambaram, sir, also for sharing your contact details. Thank you very much, Chidambaram, sir, and thank you, ma'am, too. Ma'am, with your permission, I go ahead and just share your brief profile such that our audience could get to know as to who you really are. Of course, you will be sharing everything from your side, but I'd like to add it in an official way. Yes, dear.
Sure.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks. Friends, it's always a honor, as I earlier mentioned, a pleasure and a responsibility to share the rich profile of our celebrities and guests who are here. And today, we have the lovely presence of Sanjana Rajan. She's here with us, a successful chartered accountant working at a big four accountant firm. She's a wonderful author, as I said, and a speaker. That's really nice. Every aspect of her daily life is a dedication to the hard work that she has learned from her parents, from her teachers, from her colleagues. She's dedicating all of her time and energy now, and she's focusing on building a beautiful future for herself and the people around her. So this is a beautiful testament of her dedication and determination as to where she has reached today. Of course, with the support, with the love and care of all the people who were in her life, and today she is in our life. Yes, dear friends, driven by the beautiful passion for excellence and a commitment to empowerment. She loves to empower people in the right way. Irrespective of gender, she would love all of you to grow and flourish. Sanjana ma'am emerged as a trailblazer in her field, and with a combination of strategic foresight, resilience, and an unwavering dedication to her goals, she has shattered glass ceilings. It's not one, several glass ceilings, and inspired others to reach new heights. This is what I want, friends, enabling us to, break stereotypes. It's not only you follow one path. There are several ways to find your call, to find your calling, or find your journey, the best path in life, which you can contribute more. So here, as an author, as a speaker, as a chartered accountant, a humanitarian, here we have Sanjana ma'am, and to add to that, Sanjana ma'am has authored not one book, my dear friends, 5 books on interpersonal skills. That's wow, ma'am, wonderful. Non-fiction and anthology genre. She additionally runs a campaign at the corporates called For Your Mondays by Sanjana. Very true. I understand what are Mondays. I think you all understand that, because after Sunday, it's a Monday, and many of us wouldn't like to make it, we would want another Sunday maybe, if that was or the extended Sunday. So this is something very beautiful. For Your Mondays by Sanjana, sharing handwritten, inspiring stories, fading Monday blues at work, and all of this. Now, that's all something magical to me, right? We'll get more to know about it in her talk with us just now, friends. So I repeat that, sharing handwritten inspiring stories, sharing handwritten inspiring stories, fading Monday blues at work. I get that now when I read it the second time. Yes, she believes in driving positive energy and positive change that creates a lasting impact by training and educating people and helping them to get ready for the real corporate world. There's tough competition and there's lots of stress and lots of work you have to put in. So all of this takes a toll on your mind and body. But yes, if you attend sessions like what ma'am is offering, definitely all of you will definitely be able to overcome all the challenges when you're connected with the corporate world. No matter which world, okay? Is it just the commoners or the corporate world, or just if you're a person like you and me? Friends, she has delivered sessions on career counseling as well. That's wonderful. I'm sure all the students or the youngsters who are lost as to which career they should choose, here's a wonderful coach and a blessing in front of us where she focuses on career counseling and technical subjects in renowned colleges at Hyderabad. And she states that her journey is to build herself into a simple and self-made woman. She's beautiful and strong, and she says yes, she's in this beautiful process of learning more and sharing more with each one of us. So I'm eager to learn all about what she's going to share, and I want all of you also to be eager to learn from the right kind of people. Inspiration is found all around us. It's only the right people who will give us the right amount of motivation and inspiration, which we could catch on and go ahead in life. Ma'am, I'm really delighted to know that you're an author. You have wonderful sessions like this, handwritten. Some sessions are there. I don't know what's all about it. To me, it's magical. I'd love to learn more about your work. How would you really go ahead if I ask you to share something about yourself? What would you like to say about yourself? In spite of me sharing all of this, what would you like to add to that?
I think to precisely mention about me, I would just say I'm a common human being and a big work in progress. I'm an inquisitive woman who likes to know about everything, even a minute detail. If things are, going as per my way or things that I know, I would be simply watching. But if there's something that's new that's popping up, I wouldn't even hesitate to ask, even if it's a child. I know we are growing day by age, maturity, and experiences. But there's a lot to learn. There's a whole lot of library that's pending outside. We are master of nothing as on today. So yeah, there's a whole lot of library outside that we are supposed to learn from and grow even further to make the best version of ourselves. So yeah, simply to put in one word, I'm a work in progress. I mean, I'm someone who just keeps my passions, my work, everything on one platter so that I can balance it well.
Excellent. That's really nice. Ma'am, from being a wonderful chartered accountant, a successful one at that, and working also, apart from that, you have beautiful passion of, connecting with people through your writing
Right.
and speaking as well. Now, how did this beautiful journey of becoming a writer and author begin within you?
I think it's all started in grade 5 for me. I just started with poetry where I was rhyming few words saying hi, bye, something like that. I used to make a couplets like that. And slowly, I published one poem in my school magazine. And that's when people started seeing the talent and saying, you should do more of it. Then I realized, okay, so let me try. And then I did good in poetry. Going further, when it came to office work, I realized there are a lot of newcomers who don't know how to deal with what's happening. So why not, create a ready-made platter for them? Probably not everyone would want to listen to lectures. Some would really want to understand it through comical satires or, take it lighter way. I mean, read it and just take it in a lighter way and learn from it rather than reading passages and passages of book. I chose this platform of For Your Mondays to start my writings with. Till then, I was only a poet. But then I chose this For Your Mondays platform. So, For Your Mondays is a platform where I evade blues, Monday blues. Obviously, after a vacation, it's really hard to get to work. And at work, there are a lot of things that, go unsaid. Probably there are a lot of relatable things that happen to you, but you really don't voice it out. So, for your Mondays are those set of short stories where every Monday I choose an inspirational topic, something like leadership, or probably how do you eat with cutlery in team dinners or team meetings, and things like that, so that it's relatable to the entire crowd. When they come in, actually, they should feel comfortable about the fact that okay, it's like the normal culture outside. It's not really anything that you're doing newly, because most of the students who walk into colleges corporates are right from colleges, so they really just come out of the book to a world that is very huge. So this For Your Mondays are short stories where I keep writing to let them know that it's the same. All that you're doing is you're growing in life, but there's nothing changed in terms of your behavior, your character. You're just supposed to portray the best version of yourself and deliver your job. And then when it comes to the books, I thought interpersonal books were also something that I went on to write. If you see the interpersonal books in the market, I really feel they go down into 3,000 pages, 4,000 pages. And interpersonal skills are something that you learn by practice. They are not really something that you get by reading books and books and books. I'm sure they help, but they really come by more of talking, preaching, doing, however it is. So I thought, let's concise practical scenarios of interpersonal skills and put it across. I think my books don't even cross 50 pages. They are one-time reads. That is to ensure that, students quickly pick it up, probably because I'm a student myself and I've been through that journey to understand that, long books really bore people unless until it's some kind of storybook. But something that has to be passed through knowledge has to be short and crisp. I just brought out that idea of mine through my perspectives, my opinions, what I have experienced throughout my corporate life, and I've put that in a concise book. I think my writing passion or my career counseling passion all comes from the experiences. There's nothing new that I'm preaching. It's just that I'm cautioning people on what I have experienced so that you have a softer bed when you start on. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, ma'am. Yeah.
That's really very nice. And you're very kind enough to do that, make it easier for others.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Thanks. Thanks on that.
I
Yeah.
like that thought process of yours because usually we find people very selfish. So let them have it the tough way. I had it tough, so let them also have. I've come across several youngsters who have this mindset that let them have it tough. I had it. So they derive pleasure seeing the other go through tough times. But you want to make it easier for them. That's really very nice. And you stand out among the crowd. That's
Thank
really
you.
nice, dear. Wonderful, ma'am. Dear ma'am, I'd like to go ahead and share with you an incident where a young girl, just in general, a young girl faces a lot of pressure either from family or in her school environment or maybe at the workspace. There are several incidents. I thought of sharing one, but then I'll hold back and let me not reveal that because many of them, there are countless. Like, have you ever been in that space where you faced a certain incident that was really life transforming, or it was a very transformational time in your life and said, I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to fight back and, show that I can do it.
I think a woman goes through a lot of stages where she has to balance both her family and probably if she's married, then she has to take up additional responsibilities as well. But not from the school ages, of course. Right now, when I'm working, I'm not married yet, of course. But then when it comes to balancing family and work, there are a couple of days when you probably come late night also, depending upon whatever the work is. How we, it happens in every profession. It's not limited to one profession as such. Some or the other time, you have to cross your boundaries and make it clear to either your family or your people at your work that it's not going to be a smooth journey always. When it's at home, to be honest, I think for a woman, if Monday to Friday, if she's a working woman, Monday to Friday is going to be work from home or work at office, and Saturday Sunday is purely going to be work at home. I purely think on that because no one really gives an excuse as to why women should skip her chores just because she's working. And that balance is very important. I think someone at the family or at the office has to be understanding. Probably for me, as a life transforming thing, I think I had a right balance. My family understands Monday to Friday if I'm not at home, not doing course. So they help me on that. They provide me everything to the table. And I think when it comes to work, even they understand if I have a personal commitment, I could get, quickly get back home, stay at home, probably support them from home if there's anything as such. So, yeah, if as far as they're supporting people on either sides who believe that, a woman should grow, a woman, because if a woman is educated and smart, I think an entire family is educated and smart. So, I would just say, even the women are facing problem today outside, probably they should extend themselves, make people understand that she needs to be at the both ends because one end is required for an independency and the other end is required for her mental satisfaction, which is coming back to the family.
Yes, dear. Very true, ma'am. That's really very nice. You've shared that so clearly. We have to have good family support and good friend support, and of course, supporting colleagues as well. And of course, we should support our own selves. If nobody supports us, you support your own.
Right. Of course.
That's where we just have that the inner strength within us coming out.
Right.
We support us. Have you ever found yourself in that spot when you found that no one was supporting you around, like none? And then did you find yourself in that space, or you're the lucky one?
I'm the lucky one, to be honest, ma'am. I think my family, be it my family or people at work, friends around, they've been very understanding as to how they know how my environment works. They know how my schedule goes around. So even if I'm not accommodating on some days, probably they reach out to me and say, if not today, maybe we can do it tomorrow. There's nothing that's so urgent that we can't do it. So yeah, they've been very accommodating. I've never faced any bottlenecks as such that has, stopped my growth. And probably that's one reason that I can liberally speak today on this platform also. I think to reach the stage also, they've been a very big pillar of strength to me.
Yes, dear. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing. That's really wonderful. If I were to ask you to pick up a wonderful international celebrity, it could be any gender. Who would you pick up immediately without a second thought?
I would pick up Priyanka Chopra because now she's international as well. Because I mean, she would be a right story because she was someone who is Indian, but then pushed her limits from no, actually her skin tone, be it whatever. It's a bit different to the what industry would prefer. I think there were instances where she was not picked up for the reason as well, but then she pushed her boundaries. Probably today, where she is advertising for so many famous brands around the world and making a mark for herself like a bold woman. I think I look up to her when I want to push my limits for myself.
Excellent. That's a beautiful example to take, ma'am. Priyanka Chopra. Yes, even I look up to her. And when you heard her speaking, she speaks with so much of confidence, and always her speech uplifts women.
She's definitely assertive. I don't think she double thinks when, about what society is thinking. She's just busy portraying herself as to what she is. And I think that's what everyone should do because how long will one act? I think the mask is about to fall maybe in one day, maybe in 2 days. So you can't keep acting. So why not just portray the best version of yourself? Maybe you may be likable, may not be likable to many, but that's not the job. You just have to be yourself, telling the crowd what do you stand out for.
Yes. Dear ma'am, I'd like to go ahead with the next question. We'd like to know something about your early childhood. Like, what type of a kid were you when you were in school and at home too? I mean, were you the naughty one or very calm and quiet? Did you adhere to all the rules or you broke a few rules? Yes, dear.
So yeah, I was a very calm kid, of course, not the naughty one. I was someone who would quietly play with a kitchen set, doctor set, or something on a divan in the corner. I was not really the. I think I remember my parents telling me also that even the neighbors wouldn't know that they have a kid in the house. So I was that calm. But then yeah, when it comes to my early childhood days, I think I was a meticulous student. I was probably supposed to join for pre-KG, but they apparently took me into LKG, the kindergarten directly. So yeah, I've been my credits merits have been good right from childhood, but then when it comes to my calmness and all of that, yeah, pretty much calm. I never pulled up on. I have a sibling also today, but yeah, she's supposed to be the naughty one. I was very calm around, yeah.
That's really nice. Now, if you take me, I was the naughty one and my sister was very calm, my elder
Of
sister.
course, yeah.
So I was like, broke many rules and did all the things that I was not supposed to do. Yes. And got a lot
I
of.
did break some rules also, but I think not major ones. That probably I remember one incident where actually on some Diwali, I just went and burned the curtain of the neighbor's drying area. So I was scolded for that, but yeah, not major rules broken. Some mischievous things, yeah, even I have in my childhood back then.
Yes, dear. Ma'am, that's really nice. Thank you for sharing that beautiful incident. Dear ma'am, I'd like to ask you, did you ever bunk school or college at any time?
Of course, I did like any other one. I've bunked college. I've gone to movies also. I've gone to restaurants with my friends. I've bunked college for good reasons also, probably, some social services that had to be done. So yeah, I have committed that thing. I've bunked college, but luckily I was in the student council. So it was called official bunking for me. So I didn't have to actually take out a pass or something to go out or jump the gate. I was, liberally allowed to walk out with attendance and things like that. So officially bunked colleges as well, yeah.
Yes, so that's really nice, ma'am, to share. Uh, like bunking college, and of course, for good reasons, and officially bunking it. That's wonderful,
That's
the way
one.
you put that. Now, ma'am, have you been interested in movies too? Like, are you a movie buff? And if yes, which movie interests you the most? And what kind
I
of
am
genre?
a movie buff. Too much of a movie buff, and I keep binging as to on the today's era. I think I keep binging on a lot of web series also. What interests me more are the patriotic movies, something like Puri or probably Article 370 that came recently. Those movies never flop. They don't go out of mind. They create a proper emotional impact on your heart. And when you're an Indian, you're definitely a die-hard patriot, I would say. And that every movie touches your heart. There's no movie that you can say has not gone unliked. But when it comes to the favorite movie, I would say the last movie of Sushant Singh Rajput, Dil Bechara was the title, I guess. I think that movie is an inspiration of a book called Fault in Our Stars. That movie has shaken my thought of why, I mean, how short is your life and why even crib on those 4 or 5 days? Why not just live to your fullest potential? So that movie just took away the thought of, people shouldn't be having a bit of anger, envies, jealousies that you carry because you don't know if there's a tomorrow or no tomorrow. And especially after COVID, I think that movie literally relates to everyone. I think that movie is where there were two cancer, patients, affected patients, and it was a love story around a love story. But then my personal thought is, even if you're a cancer survivor, even if you're a normal human being, you really don't know if there's a tomorrow. Why even carry such kind of envies, jealousies? Just go on and live the life to your fullest potentials because that's what you're meant for. That's what you're here for.
Thank you, ma'am, for this beautiful message through that movie. That's really very nice. I mean, just we are here to live and enjoy every single moment. You never know what happens tomorrow. Yes, dear. I really like the way you put that, ma'am. Yes. Dear ma'am, now we find many people suffering from something called as assumptions. They really don't know what's on the other side, what's happening in the lives of others. And just we begin to assume things. And that has caused a lot of friction. And this happens, I don't know about the male members, it happens among women. Yes, because I have been in close circles with many women. And so this has happened often. So how can we tackle assumption? Or I'd like you being a motivational speaker, I'd like you to give me or give us, not me also, and of course everyone, like how we overcome this assumptions that we have within us. It's not good assuming things than getting to know the facts and the truth. Yes, dear, over to you.
I think it's just a timing difference when it comes to being assumptions and an overthinker. We really are a bit impatient because we are not ready to wait for a couple of minutes to understand their side of the story. That's where overthinking comes in. You want to already step into the shoes of people who are, in that particular situation. That's where overthinking starts. And I think I have also been an overthinker at some point of time, not really understanding other circumstances. But you really don't know what the other person is being through. Maybe, if not today, maybe in some hours, or maybe even in some minutes in case of quick responses. In hours, maybe if not today, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, maybe a week. Let them be in their space and come back to you. I'm pretty sure when these assumptions come in place, it's with the closed ones because people least bother about who are the others. You don't really assume about outsiders. Assumptions only come in place when it's your loved ones or someone who know you closely. That's when you start thinking because you know a bit of their story, but not the complete one. I think we should give it some time. Patience is one thing we should start inculcating when it's about overthinking because if you overthink, probably one situation can go into four options. And you might think, what about this, that, that? You don't have a clear solution yourself. Neither are you letting the person share the side of the story, and it's a total harm. So I would suggest when it comes to overthinking, not only suggest, I'm actually practicing this myself when it comes to think. If you're a extreme overthinker, I would just say take a power nap, sleep over that story so that you don't think of it again. And it works. If you sleep over that story, I'm telling you, you just wake up and think it's okay. Yaar, it was a small thing. Why didn't I, just let it be? Or probably just have the patience and indulge in some other things that are important to you so that you get busy into the work and give that space to a particular person where they would get back to you and answer on that. I think overthinking can be reduced by both of these methods. Either you get busy yourself by allowing them to come back to you, or you take a power nap if you're that extensively overthinking about something. Just take a power nap. Sleep heals everything.
Yes, dear, that's really nice. Sleep heals everything. So have a good nap and get up, my dear friends. Yes, it's very true. Dear ma'am, we've also found people around us going overboard and taking advantage of us and not responding to us with regard to timing. There are several people not giving importance to time. Maybe once or twice is excusable, with the third time. But when people start taking you for granted that he or she will wait for me no matter what, it could either be a personal setup or a professional setup, the space. So I would like you to talk about time as to how one should respect the time of others?
I think it goes both ways. If one has to respect your time, you have to respect theirs also. And if one is not doing that to you, probably one or two instances are excusable. But I think it's time that we set boundaries as to what is it, it has to be clear that we have other engagements to plan on as well. It is not that we can be waiting for you all the time. So, one, two times is fine. Third time, probably be sweet and generous, even if they've not respected your time. Give them a separate allocated time. Probably you just give them an appointment saying, I'm available next on so and so time. You can reach out to me. In case they're interested, they'll come to you. But if they really wanted to waste your time, they might not even turn up. And in case of a professional scenario, if this is happening frequently in terms of relationships and all of that, if a person is not respecting your time, you really need to understand and explain things that, it's not going to work out like this. We have different schedules. We can't be overlapping on each other. While I wait for you, you're also supposed to wait for me. And if I'm early for you, you're also supposed to accommodate at some point of time. And that's not happening. I think it's time to set right boundaries, right expectations with people. If still not, I think it's the right time to move on as well.
Yes, it's the right time to move on, either professionally or personally.
Or personally, yes.
Yes, ma'am. In certain cases, some of our friends and some of the people who I know, we just block. Can't take the stress anymore. Just block, just block. So I'd like you to share like your thoughts because you're very young and into this beautiful world. Like I'd like people block us on social media or we block them. Let me be honest. Either we block them or they block us. So do you think this is healthy, ma'am? Or like we retain our sanity when we do that?
See blocking as a very mature behavior. I think blocking, what if a person has two numbers? He might contact you or she might contact you with some other number. You're going to block even that number. After that, a third number, a fourth number. The point is not to cut down someone to reach you out. The point is to communicate what went wrong that you're actually cutting them down or putting them on a block. There are two benefits to this. Probably if the person has a miscommunication and you put him on block or her on block, they would actually reach out to you and you can clear that miscommunication out. Maybe things might grow up to be more healthy. But if there was an actual problem and with the behavior of some person or you didn't like someone's nature, you might tell them and walk away. I think a person deserves a reason as to why they have put on block. It is not just that, you just randomly, because it's a tool, it is giving you facility. Because I'm pretty sure before putting on block, you would have exchanged some conversations that were meaningful. And without giving a reason, if you're putting them on block, I'm pretty sure that's a very unfair way of cutting the other person, however mean they are, however hurted you have been on that case. I think there should be given a reason at least if you're directly putting them. Otherwise, probably there are cases of sorting as well. You can talk, clear the miscommunication. I would suggest everyone who's watching this, please use that tool as less as possible. It's just an option. Don't use it extensively to stop, relationships or communications of professional channels. I also noticed one more thing these days, ma'am. There's an option of reaction on WhatsApp, especially. And I feel that's actually not a reaction, but an end to conversations. One who does not want to type more just reacts and leaves it. I think bye is a better option than reaction. If you want to stop a conversation there, at least tell a bye, a goodbye, or a see you later kind of a message. Just don't stop by reacting. Probably everyone is able to understand that's the end of the conversation. Not really appreciable that way, but yeah, say a goodbye, see you later, or a good night. There's so many messages to end your conversation rather than just putting a full stop there by saying a thumbs up or a heart emoji or a laughing emoji, something like that. So yeah.
Thank you for that, ma'am. And I'm one of them who use these emojis by just. But in my mind, like maybe if I, in my mind, it's something else. Yes, maybe the conversation will go on. But when I heard you sharing this, I think I should change my strategy. I should type out and make it little clear. I get that. I understand. Because even I've even seen people when I have shared something and just give me a thumbs up. So then I said, what the hell? This is a thumbs up here. I needed some other
Exactly.
clarity. Yes. So it applies to me too in the same way. If
It
I'm
applies to me too, ma'am, on some instances, or some unavoidable instances. We don't do it consciously, to be honest.
yes,
But I think when we realize it, we might get better in how we have to do it.
yes. And I appreciate the way you brought it out today and made me conscious, and I'm sure the others as well. You could take this also on a serious note and try to be more communicative and more positive in your communications with one and all. Yes, dear. Dear ma'am, what about sports and games? As a school student, did you take part or in the college or now?
I think I'm not a pro on every sport. I do it, play sports. I play throw ball, badminton for recreation. I think whenever probably till recent times also we used to do it on weekend just to get a break away from work. I do play sports, but yeah, as I said, I'm not a gem of anything. I just play it as a part of my recreation because it's good teaming up with people. You meet different people when you're, playing games. And it also is a refresher to your own mind because you get time off, you sweat out things from your own body. So it releases kind of, stress from your body when you're actually going with some kind of recreations like that.
Yes, dear. That's really nice, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Ma'am, there's something more, like we'll go a little deeper. Now, there are several people, irrespective of gender, and if they are not okay on the personal front, they cannot perform professionally well. But there are a few others. No matter what happens at home or what happens with your intimate partner or your children, if you are married and have kids, they're able to perform very well on the professional front, hiding up all the scars and the pain within. There are two kinds. Some just either absentism, they're absent, or either some they just come out and give their very best even on the worst day that they're faced at home. So I'd like you to share your thoughts on that, as if at all somebody finds themselves like this, like mixing personal and professional work. So you as a motivational speaker connected with the corporate world, like I'd like you to help all the other people who view this as to how they should balance both and how they should put up a brave front at the right time.
I pretty much believe, ma'am, that personal and professional lives are two different things. The situations you face in personal life do not carry to your professional life, and the situations you face at your professional work really do not come back to your personal life because personal life is family, professional life is work. They're two different things. And I strongly believe if you're carrying something from home and going to work, you will carry all the envy, hatred, or small fights that you had at home to work and spoil people, your the way you deliver things. There's a team sitting at work also. You might end and go probably lash out at them for some things. I think you should be in right state of mind in both spaces and understand. Probably, I would suggest there's a 15-20 minutes gap or, whatever time you take to drive to work, shed things out, put it there and then, because only when you get back to home you're supposed to sort it, not all the way out when you're going to work. Similarly at work as well, if you had a bad day with your boss or probably your things didn't go right, you didn't have good food at office, you're really not going to go back and shout people at home because they are not the ones who are the culprits at both the ends. I would say it's you who have not seen right things throughout the day. It's you have to heal yourself, not put it on others just because they're easily available. So I really think that, whatever it is, first of all, put it to bed. Don't carry it to your mind because you don't really know whoever has lashed out at you or whoever has, really, even if the pity fights at home, you don't know what things are they going through. Or probably it was just a small miscommunication. Take time to sort it out rather than carrying it all the way here and there because it's going to be a chaos in your personal life. No one's really going to understand your condition at home while you're being at work, or no one is really going to understand what happened at office when you come back to home. They're two different things, and you're supposed to keep them like that because you will end up upsetting everyone just for a piece of cake that you carried here and there. Rather, sort it out wherever it was, or even if it's getting carried forward to next day. As I said, sleep over it. It is the best way to do it. I don't know. I experience this personally. If I have a fight with someone, if I, probably at that heat of moment, I might have 100 of thoughts running on my mind. But when I sleep and get up, I really think, was it even necessary for me to think so much? It really wouldn't have mattered. So take that space. It's all about timing. Take that much space, shed it out either on way of work when you travel. Maybe talk it to yourself how it could have been different if you didn't have to do it, probably fight with your mom at home, or how it would have been different if you didn't have to fight with your boss and probably deliver it some way or the other. So just keep those spaces, take some time to shed it out, and then act on it. I would, say respond, don't react, just respond and respond separately in your different spaces because that is your loved one space and this is your independent space. You have to keep them separately.
Yes, dear. That's really nice, ma'am. Thank you for sharing and giving us a good clarity. When you talk of space, I'd like to focus on me time.
I
Where to
personally,
use that me time? Yes, dear.
I personally have definitely kept me time for myself on every inch. Otherwise, I really can't get the best version out of myself. It is important that you sit introspect about what you're doing, how are you doing. That's, I think that helps in a good mental state of mind to be sane. You were supposed to love yourself first. I think I do, I take me time out of a very small activities, probably my skin routine during the night where I'm comforting, calming myself, spa sessions over the weekend, or probably just walk into the nature during the nights whenever I find time, lonely walks when because that's when I get to talk to myself, introspect about how my day went, or probably what did I do wrong, what did I do right, how could I, have done it better. Especially when I do these kind of talking sessions, also, ma'am, I realized once I walk out of it, I think about the questions that I actually answered to think maybe if not these words, what could I have done better to use something else on behalf of that? So when you give yourself me time, love yourself, and I totally believe if you don't love yourself, you might not be that good to the mankind as well, because one needs to understand yourself properly, comfort, calm your needs, necessities, and then probably you can see a clearer world as to how, you can give back it to the mankind as well. Once you love yourself, I think you can spread it to the others. If you can't give yourself that space, I think you cannot accommodate anything in life because you come first. It's I, me, and myself, and then others always.
Very true, ma'am. I really agree with you on this point. Like, love yourself, you can love others too in the right way. Otherwise, there's something wrong. Either you keep loving others and don't take care of yourself, you're doing injustice to yourself. So love yourself first and then take care of others. Like the oxygen mask when we travel by air.
You're
First
supposed to put it to yourself first, of
fix
course.
it for yourself, save others next. Yes. Ma'am, I would like to know your journey as a CA, as to how you entered into this beautiful space. It's not easy to become a CA, right? And you've accomplished this beautiful task of having your profession fixed into being a wonderful CA, and you're working as well. So would you like to share this journey?
I think it was never a bed of roses. It's got a lot of thorns in it as well. It is a very tough journey, of course. I think I made up my mind if CA was not the initial plan for me. So after my BCom course, I planned to take up international marketing as my major in MBA. But on a serious conversation with my dad, he just told me one thing: don't choose jobs where you have to run around. Probably choose a job where even if you sit at home, you're financially independent, you're moving things along. And I think my parents have a very big role when, on choosing this course, because a lot of institutes even today are tuition points. And probably when you come from a background of CBSE schools, ICSE schools, you are in a very broad nature as such. You're not really used to sitting in, packed classes and then taking up courses. And I think my parents really took that effort to go ahead, find for coaching centers where, the right teachers are available, the right teaching space is available where your mind can freely think, you can breathe to understand the subject. And then it took me enough time to process all this. Of course, my father is a major, source of inspiration, because I did CA only for him. It was his dream for me to bring to this platform. I did CA only for him. You must be surprised. I would say that, ICAI gives us a sticker once we qualify. We put on our cars. He gifted me a car for that reason. I think that was one of the proudest moment of my life. So the journey was not simple. I think you need a lot of dedication. You should be determined to sit for long hours to study, because it's not easy. The subjects, I wouldn't say, are not, the exam pattern is not the issue. I would say even in 10th and 12th class, you were not given question papers beforehand. You had to study for every subject. You have to prepare for everything. The only thing is a mental barrier that it's a tough course. I would say if you're properly prepared and you write the exam just like you did in any 10th, 12th, intermediate, or your BCom classes, or probably any other degree as such, you would ace it. The only thing is it's a mental barrier that it's a tough course. Of course, CA requires that you sit for long hours, give it more time, because there are newer subjects and higher subjects. So for that understanding, probably yes, it was a long journey for me as well. But I think the position I am in today, where I get to, sit, work with good professionals, bigger CXO executives in the firm. I think that pride would not have been if I had not chosen this path.
Yes, dear. That's really nice, ma'am. Thank you for sharing. What is that one thing you love about Sanjana?
I think Sanjana is that Jeet from Jab We Met movie who is always cheerful. I'm all the time with energy. So I keep bubbling around people. I like to, talk to different people. Like to hang out with, even people of older ages. I like to sit, probably have few chit chats with them, pull my near and dear ones' legs, prank around them. So one thing that about Sanjana is lively. So I always want to retain that quality, never be a boring stuff for someone because I would get bored myself first. So I don't want to do that.
Hey, that's a big takeaway for all of us. That's really nice. Beautiful. To be connected with all age groups. And yes, be bubbly, be cheerful. That is the beauty of life, not to be sad and, depressed and sulking all the time. Jump out and live life to the fullest. Dear ma'am, how would you want people to remember Sanjana?
I think if one have to remember me, first of all, remember my smile because that's what I welcome everyone with. Apart from that, as a person, a soft, calming natured person. And when it comes to my work, someone who takes up challenging stuff and delivers rightly. Uh, Sanjana should be remembered as probably a maverick thinker who customizes tailor-made solutions to people. Maybe not immediately, but she comes back with the right solution. So if someone has to remember me that way, I think I should create this impact on their mind. This is what is my goal as such.
Yes, dear, that's wonderful. Sanjana ma'am, till date, your most proudest accomplishment?
Till date, most proudest accomplishment for me, as I said a while ago, CA was not something that was in my track, neither was in my journey. But I have also never expected that, people usually, this is something out of box, but people usually don't buy or gift a car for a sticker. I think when I saw my dad doing that, the kind of respect he had in his eyes, saying that, my daughter has actually shouldered me today to take all the responsibility. She has delivered what I wanted to see her as. So that proud moment that I saw in him, probably crores and crores of money at my hands wouldn't have given me. I think that moment is a wall of fame for me, and I framed it in my heart, in my eyes, and it'll be there forever. And probably when they came onto the stage on my convocation, to get the degree, I think that moment is a frame for me and it's the proudest achievement. Even if I kick further milestones, I think this I cannot forget. This will be there as top one.
Excellent. That's wonderful to know that. Yes, dear. Wonderful. That's really nice. Dear ma'am, and it's making me also emotional. Like I could imagine you there. I created that mental picture now. I began to imagine you standing there, your parents walking up, and the whole session taking place. Yes, dear. Dear ma'am, if you were given a chance to relive somebody's life, whose life you would love to relive and return back if it was a task in that way?
I think I would definitely want to relive the life of Mrs. Sudhamurthy because I mean, I'm an author. I can relate to what she writes. I have seen a lot of books on fiction, probably. I've seen a couple of books on anthologies as well. But it is important when someone is living at that simplicity, at the kind of caliber she has, the kind of power she has. She's been only using it for the right stuff. She's been spreading so much of work in philanthropy, philosophy, however you put it. And the kind of stories that she has written are so relatable. Usually people say that dreams are luxurious. But I would say if you have to look up to that particular person, anyone can afford that dream. I think she has created one such example for all of us that simplicity can also mean luxury. And when I look up to her, the kind of work she's done, I'm actually living her story, not just reading it. So, yeah, if I have to relive all my years back, I think I would relive as Mrs. Sudhamurthy.
Yes, dear. Wonderful, ma'am. That's really nice. As you said, to be simple is to be great. And having a simple, a beautiful living, like, just to be simple is a luxury too.
I
It's
think one shouldn't ever forget their roots, however heights they reach to. So that's very important for anyone. I think be it Tata's, Ambani's, Birla's, they all have the gratitude hidden within them that they know where they're actually coming from and they're giving back that much to the society. So yeah. That has to be one inspiration for all of us, be it at whatever stage of life. Even if you've gone one step ahead, a plus one to what you were existing from, you should not forget the step one where you actually climbed up to.
Yes, dear. That's wonderful, ma'am. Now, this tells me that you're a wonderful speaker. You're a great motivator. Now, I'd like to know your thoughts on this very important question with regard to constructive criticism or feedback, you say. Even you just use the word criticism and say it's constructive. People can't take it. Immediately they face, there's a soft, feeling. So how does one face this beautiful term called as constructive criticism? Because it's meant for our growth. What are your thoughts on this, ma'am?
I think criticism has been always perceived to be a negative word. People don't really see it as a negative motivation because they're two contrary words and people don't really appreciate it. I think criticism, when it has to be constructive, has to be backed by some good deeds also. When you're giving people some constructive criticism, always start with what good they have done. It is not that, someone who actually called for such thing hasn't done any good in life, probably at least 10%. I would say start with that 10% and don't ever call it criticism. It is actually a feedback. So now it's a human trait. When you start talking good about them, all the ears are hearing you. But if you talk anything wrong about them, they definitely would question, who are you even, what's your caliber that you're actually giving me a criticism? They might question you that way. But once you start with saying something good about them, they might see you as a friend more than a foe. They might even consider what you're speaking. So I would say the first step of constructive criticism is it what please state what good they have done. Please tell them what one, two things they've started good with. And then don't call it criticism. Please call it a feedback as to what better could they have, what better, how better could they really perform in whatever they have done. It's never see criticism comes in when your expectation is different than what has been delivered. I would say it's your expectation, right? It's not a benchmark. So give them a feedback to align it to your expectations rather than just blaming them or just, decrediting them of what they have done. So I think more than constructive criticism, the word itself has to be changed to constructive feedback. That will sound pleasant to ears to people and they will actually start considering it because it's easy, to feed a piece of sweet and tell that you're, good or bad rather than giving them a bitter god and say things to them. So these two things have to, be clear in one's mind. It's constructive feedback. Don't make it criticism. No one likes being, blamed upon or pointed upon. Even if you tell me that I'm not beautiful, maybe I'm the ugliest, but I would not be accepting it because that's how I see myself. That's how I'm confident about myself. No one would like it. So just put it in a way that's pleasant to everyone's ears. And then, of course, it will do magic. They will also hear to what you said and they will also perform in a better way.
Yes, dear. Wonderful, ma'am. Thank you so much. It's not constructive criticism. You take it as constructive feedback. That's really nice, dear. Dear ma'am, we have a small segment now called as the rapid fire round, which will take another 5 to 10 minutes. May we go ahead with it, dear?
Sure.
Yes. Before we go into the rapid fire round, ma'am, is there anything else you'd like to answer or share a message with anyone, like for any one of us? If I have not touched upon that topic, you could please share that before we
I
go.
think I would only share one advice to all of the viewers. It's just that don't imbibe someone's attitude or don't try to be someone else. I really like one of the campaigns flashed by classmate notebooks. You are one of your kind. A lot of influencing around today's world has actually spoiled the mindset. The younger generations also, I would just say, you know what's best for you because you've lived through it, you know your journey, you know what's required. I would just say, be mindful. There's a fine line between guidance and influence. Take advices, but choose your mind. Use your mind to analyze what's right for you, what's wrong for you. Just because you look up to someone doesn't mean you're a perfect fit in it because their experiences, their journey, and their upbringing could have been different. So, all of you, probably as a suggestion, because even I'm improving myself on that end, be one of a kind for yourself. It's not a race, it's getting the best version out of you. So just improve yourself on what's right for you. Don't get influenced by any circumstances outside or the fancy world outside, which is a trap. Don't get influenced by self and spoil things for you. Find the right path and go ahead with it.
Thank you for this lovely message, ma'am. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. And if you go deep and just try to understand as to what ma'am shared, we'll get the truth out there that really you can really make a beautiful life of yours. You can take it further. You can transform your life. You know, the best word is like transform your life with these beautiful sharings. You could take it as an advice, a suggestion, or a beautiful message. Yes, dear. Thank you very much, ma'am. Ma'am, we go on to the rapid fire round. Your favorite breakfast?
Bonda, Mysore bonda.
Oh, wow, bonda and Mysore bonda. Yes. When you say bonda, there are a variety of bondas, like
Exactly, yeah.
specified. No, it is Mysore.
I'm not a healthy buff, so works for me.
Yes, dear. It's a very tasty dish. Dear ma'am, your favorite month?
August.
August. And your favorite day of the week? Is it Monday?
No, it's always Wednesday. Midway to go, midway to move further.
Yes, dear. Your favorite kind of music?
I think I listen to more of peppy music with a lot of beats.
Yes, dear. Have you ever spent money and regretted, oh, why did I spend my money to buy this article on MBA?
Oh, always while gifting. I think a lot of expensive gifts have gone out of my pocket. So, yes, I do.
Yes, dear. Do you believe in second chance?
Definitely. I think unless until you get that one, you really don't know the importance.
Yes, dear. What is that one thing you love about your job?
Everything about it, to be honest. I'm living my dream.
Great. That's nice. Your favorite snack, ma'am?
I keep snacking on everything, but I would say chips would do for me. I think no specific preference as such, but yeah.
Now, when you say chips, there are different kinds.
The lace,
Okay,
always.
that's
Yeah.
right. That's nice. The blue, the red, the
The
orange.
light green always. I think I'm a person of cream and onion flavor. Yeah, so
Is it
the
the green
light
one?
green one
The
always.
light green one?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, dear. You guessed how I know that my son used to snack on that. He really said, Mama, when you're coming, please bring them for me. So
I
that,
think that's a very subtle flavor one would love to.
yes, dear. Dear ma'am, is it tea or coffee?
Always coffee.
In
But
your,
I'm a tea taster too, so I think I love tasting teas at different places around the world. But yeah, I'm a coffee person.
that's great. That's really nice. As you mentioned, different parts of the world. Do you love solo traveling or traveling in a group?
I love traveling in a group.
Have you ever tried solo traveling?
Not really much, but yeah, a couple of places that I've been to, I've made myself a bore. So
Oh,
I always prefer traveling with a group.
yes, dear. The insect that you don't like?
Bugs, ladybugs.
Ladybugs.
Yeah.
Really cute, red
I
spots.
know they're cute, right, for pictures, but then when they're around, I feel a bit jitterish.
Okay, that's really nice for sharing. Yes, because some admire it and some like have a fear. Like most of us. That's why I asked this question.
I've
Like
really seen people pick it up and, muscle it, crustle it. So that feeling itself gives me a lot of jitters.
yes, they crush it like that. Yes,
Yeah.
I get that. Do you know how many spots are there on the ladybird's body?
Not really, but if I have to guess, maybe 5 to 7.
You're right. Something like seven.
Close to, yeah.
Yeah, very close. You're a thinker or a doer?
I'm a thinker.
Believe in
First I think and then I implement.
oh, great. That's really nice. Do you believe in experience or theoretical learning? Like
Experience always.
self,
It really doesn't, I mean, not everything goes by the book ever in life. So books are good for guidance, but only when you are into the pool, you know how deep it is.
yes, dear. An early bird or an oh, like you said,
I'm a late one. I'm a late one. I'm not an early bird. I'm someone who is late to bed but early to rise because I have to be at work.
yes, dear.
Yeah.
Home cooked food or food ordered from out?
I think majorly food ordered from out. It's not a preference, but it's bound by my lifestyle. So yeah, whenever I get chances, probably on over the weekends, I binge on home food completely.
Salty or sweet, spicy stuff?
Completely sweet. If spice was an option, then completely spicy. But if it's salt or sweet, then I'm a sweet person.
Yes, dear. When you're all alone and you have nothing around you, no gadgets, no books, just sitting alone with nobody in your room, nothing to view on the walls as well. And at that time, you connected to your thoughts. Where do your thoughts take you?
I think, sometimes I've also gone thinking weirdly as to how did this English even start? Who named the alphabets or who actually started words? Why is this called this way and not something else? So I've gone to those weird thoughts as well. But I've also reflected upon my old actions as to maybe some situations as such.
Yes, dear. Do you love ice creams too?
I love ice creams too. Yeah.
May we know your flavor?
It's called Feast from Quality World. That's my go-to always. However expensive stuff are there outside, I think if I find that piece, I would leave everything else. So yeah, it's Feast.
Yes, dear. Your favorite season?
My favorite season is always winters.
You love to,
I yeah, it's all about, a calm, cozy weather rather than scorch heating sun for me. So
yes. You love to stay in a city or village or a town?
I think village life is far more peaceful, but if you were a professional person, I think city is the choice. Not if you ask me as by heart, I would say village, but by choice, it's a city.
Ma'am, describe a beautiful day in one word.
Everything goes right.
Right. Great. A beach person or forest person?
A forest person.
Love,
I love wandering around the sanctuaries and zoos. I love animals basically. I love the wild animals. I love to gaze at them. So it's always a forest over beach any day.
forest over beach. That's wonderful, dear. That's really wonderful. You believe in love or respect? What comes first?
I think respect comes first. Once you respect each other, probably only then you can love each other too. It's my perspective, of course.
You're right. Respect first and then love. Because people who love you, they disrespect you too.
Exactly.
Yes, dear. Dear ma'am, now the next question, song or dance?
Both. I would break the rule on this because both are my favorites.
Hmm.
So if you have to choose one, I would say dance definitely. Any day.
And if it is song, like which song? Which
I'm more of a Bollywood person. I think the movie songs mostly because I'm not a classical dancer, so it's always the Bollywood songs for me.
would you oblige to sing us a song?
I'm not a singer. I'm not a singer totally.
You
So
could try a
I
line, your
wouldn't.
favorite line, please.
My favorite line, I really can't get one as such. Probably kabhi kabhi mere dil mein. I think that should not embarrass me further because
No.
I'm a really bad singer. So
But you sung it very beautifully. And I think it's Amitabh Bachchan and Rakhi.
yes,
Right?
yes,
Yes. That's a lovely one. And you obliged. Thank you so much for obliging.
of course.
Appreciate it. Dear ma'am, as you being an author, you're an author as well, connected with writing now, and you love music, as you said. Now, if you're given a choice to select either the book that you love to read is right in front of you, which you haven't yet read, and there's a lovely music system available where you could either use the music system and listen to good music or read the book. Which one would you select first?
I would select the music itself because for me it goes with any vibe, any day. But you need to be in the right state of mind while you're enjoying the story. So you need a space while you're reading something. But music, I think I can keep playing it and do anything that I want. So music would be the first thing for me.
Yes, dear. Now, life skill, cooking. Are you good at
Okay.
cooking?
Yeah, not good, but yeah, I know some dishes that are, it's a learning stage for me. So I cook whatever I cook well. So not too much of it, but yeah, I cook certain dishes, basic dishes, I would say.
Ma'am, we come on to the next question, ma'am. Like, till date, the most precious gift that you ever received?
The precious gift that I ever received was, I think, a pen from one of my lecturers for performing outstandingly on something. And that was received during the ICI's course of journeys in one of those trainings. I did it in a remote place, not in Hyderabad itself. And that particular teacher told me that, probably wherever you are, whatever time, update with your lifestyle because I really have connected with you and probably a gift from
Yes, dear. Yes, dear ma'am. Yes, dear. Am I audible, ma'am? Ma'am, am I audible? Yeah. There was a slight
yeah, you're
fluctuation.
audible now. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
there was. Even it was from my side?
I think so because I have no pop-up on my screen as such. Yeah. Now
Yeah.
it's okay. Now it's fine.
Yeah. Yes, dear. And ma'am, one last question, two last questions. One is a question and one is a request. The name of your favorite teacher?
Her name is Mrs. Bhuma. She was my social science teacher in 10th. I am still in connect with her. She's inspired to me. The place I'm in right now, maybe I have frequent conversations with her on how I grew up or what can be done rightly. I think she's been a very big pillar of support in that. So, yeah, she's Mrs. Bhuma, and I thank her on this platform as well. That's the opportunity to.
Yes, lots of love to you and respects to you, ma'am, Miss Bhuma, and to all your friends and your relatives as well and colleagues as well, dear. Dear ma'am, one last request before we wind up for today is you give us 3 gifts now in the form of 3 beautiful words to empower us.
I would say forgiving, be forgiving always, because life is too short for carrying envies, jealousies, upbringing, or building up yourself, because no one's perfect and perfection is a myth. So just build up to what you did so far, and you'll automatically be the best version of yourself. And comparison. Make sure you don't compare yourself with everyone. I read this somewhere saying confidence is not about walking into a room thinking that you're best than everyone. It's about a stage where you actually have no one to compare with. You've already attained excellence. So these 3 words are the ones that I would like to end my session with.
Yes, dear. Thank you very much, ma'am. And looking forward to many more interactions with you. I love the way you speak and I love the way you put your message very clear across for everyone. We wish you all the best and requesting you to join us once again on the International Fab Talks to share more wisdom because there's a lot of untapped energy in you, which I'd like you to share with us and make us feel great with your
Sure.
presence.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks for this platform. And I think it was really refreshing for me to come over here and, share my views, spread thoughts around. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you very much. My dear friends, with this, we come to an end to the International Fab Talks for today, dear. Of course, we have to respect ma'am's time. And yes, we promise to bring her back because she has that lovely flow when she speaks. It clearly tells us that she's a wonderful author, a great writer, and of course, a great speaker as well. If you'd like to connect with ma'am, you could definitely connect with her. We'll share the details with you in the description where you could connect with her. Please share this video with the ones who really deserve to view this video. And if you like what we are doing, stay connected with us. Join us on the International Fab Talks. Like, comment, and subscribe as well. Stay safe and stay blessed. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear.